and the group I had in the House office buildings did nothing suspicious.
Even you, AOC, we're coming to take you out.
Is he some nefarious character?
Not that I know of.
Fox News is in damage control after someone that they defended as doing nothing wrong maybe in fact did do something wrong. So the January 6th committee released video of Republican Congressman Barry Loudermilk giving a tour to a group of people, including one individual who the next day on January 6th issued threats to Congresspeople on video. So that video released just hours after Fox News defended Loudermilk for doing nothing wrong. And now, after that video came out from the committee, Fox News came back the next day to try and, issue some damage control here to try and defend the person they initially defended. So in this video, I will break it down all in order so it all makes sense. I will show you what Fox News initially said. I will show you the video that was released by the January 6th committee. And then I'll show you how Fox News came back the next day and what they said then. But it all starts first with this tweet. This was shortly before Barry Loudermilk first appeared on Fox News. Here he is saying, "The truth will always prevail, as I've said since the January 6th committee made their baseless accusation about me to the media. I never gave a tour to the on the Capitol on January 5th, 2021. So he here screenshots the Capitol Police statement saying that Barry Loudermilk did not give a tour that was suspicious in any way. But I'll get to more on this statement later. First, I want to show you the appearance, Loudermilk's appearance on Fox News shortly after this statement came out.
Now, for over a year, Democrats suggested that congressional Republicans had led groups of visitors on so-called recon missions on the Capitol on January 5th, 2021. Remember that? Now, the implication was obvious that Republicans, elected officials, were in on the plot. Loudermilk, we find out, did nothing wrong. In a letter to House Administration Committee ranking member Rodney Davis, Capitol Police Chief Tom Manger wrote that officers had reviewed security footage and found no evidence that Loudermilk entered the Capitol with the group of constituents at all.
And the group I had in the House office buildings did nothing suspicious.
I mean, it was a total lie. I'm just going to say,
on it.
Congressman, it was a lie. It was a smear. The January 6th committee said to CNN, oh, no, we have other information, I guess, about you or this that's going to come to light.
Yes, they do, which is why maybe you should have waited just a few hours before having this massive defense of Barry Loudermilk and saying that he did nothing wrong. Well, the committee came out to say this. Surveillance footage shows a tour led by Loudermilk to areas of the House office buildings as well as the entrances to Capitol tunnels. Individuals on the tour photographed/recorded areas not typically of interest to tourists, hallways, staircases, and security checkpoints. So I will say, there's an aspect of this story where I'm in between. I'm actually in between Loudermilk and the committee here. I'll discuss what that is after, but first, let me show you what the committee released.
It has begun here at the Washington Monument, Washington, D.C. Say hello to Facebook.
Hey, what's going on, man? Glad to be here, bro.
This is our fearless leader.
Hey, baby.
Let's
go. Check out my flag I made, guys. You see it? There you go, baby. That's for a certain person.
That's right. That's for somebody special. Somebody special. There's no escape, Pelosi, Schumer, Nadler. We're coming for you. We're coming in like white on rice for Pelosi, Nadler, Schumer, even you, AOC. We're coming to take you out. We'll pull you out by your hairs. How about that, Pelosi? Might as well make yourself another appointment. When I get done with you, you're gonna need a sign up on top of that bald head.
All right, now since this aspect of the video that's going to come up now has no audio, I might as well speak over it. So I'm going to play this for you here. And you're going to see Barry Loudermilk in the tunnel there in the suit, and the guy in front taking a picture of the stairwell for some reason. Interesting. I'll get to Barry Loudermilk's defense of this on Fox News the next day shortly. But more pictures being taken here at security checkpoint. Picture here being taken of a random hallway. All while Loudermilk is claiming that he never gave any tour of the Capitol. Here he is again. Now, the reason why he is able to say this, or why he is saying this, is he's so, sly, so cunning in his defense here. This is why he is saying this. Because technically, he did not give a tour of the Capitol building. But he gave a tour of the Capitol complex that leads to the Capitol building. So he is saying, oh, I'm exonerated. As the police said, I never gave a tour of the Capitol. Yeah, not literally the Capitol building, but you gave a tour of the Capitol, just the Capitol complex. These people are so incredibly dishonest. And Loudermilk's story has changed again and again. First, he said this was a group of people just in his office that were his constituents, and then they were Trump supporters that he met, and from church. He's all over the place on who these people were, why they were there. But closely here, taking a look at some of this, what we just saw. Random stairwell. Now, I will say, I'll get to where I'm in between Loudermilk and the committee on this. But stairwell, hallway. All right. So first here, before I even get to, my thoughts on one issue with the committee's statements, just going over what was said in that video initially. You have a guy who is taking cell phone video on January 6th, the day after this tour, discussing with other people, that one guy wants to impale somebody with his flagpole that he put a point at the top of. He took photos of stairwells, as I discussed, showed you hallways, tunnels. He comments there, we're coming for you, Pelosi, Schumer, Nadler, even you, AOC. We're coming to take you out, pull you out by your hairs. These are direct threats to sitting members of Congress on January 6th as he is marching towards the Capitol, or at least towards Trump's speech that ultimately turned into the Capitol insurrection. Now, to be clear, this guy has not been charged. The guy that taking all these photos, he's not been charged with actually storming the Capitol. That doesn't mean there was an intent here, or that there wasn't potentially something else going on with the information that he was gathering and maybe sharing that with others. There's potentially still more to come, and I'll get to another clip that goes into that. But in terms of where I'm in between between these two, first here from CNN, the video released by the committee seems to challenge the findings of U.S. Capitol Police as detailed in a letter sent to Republican lawmakers this week, which said the department conducted a review of security footage from January 5th and did not observe any activities it deemed to be suspicious or consistent with a reconnaissance tour. The committee has not explicitly accused Loudermilk of leading a reconnaissance tour, but it did ask him to voluntarily answer questions about what is seen on the video released Wednesday. Loudermilk's story, however, has repeatedly shifted in terms of the details of what happened on January 5th. So, this is where I am in between these two. These photos, doing this on its own, I don't think is suspicious. People take photos of weird things all the time. I'll get to Loudermilk's explanation, which I think is stupid. But, to give you an example, this is me in 2016. I'm here. I took a picture in front of the Bernie Sanders office. There's his office. Now, this photo on its own, not suspicious. But the next day, if there was a video of me marching with a bunch of insurrectionists, and I'm discussing with other people that, this person's going to impale somebody, and I'm saying, hey, Bernie, I'm coming for you. I'm going to pull you up by your hairs. That's when it becomes an issue. Putting those two things together. So the Capitol Police statement on its own, I think, is just saying, hey, this video this surveillance video of this tour is fine on its own. It's nothing suspicious here. People take pictures of weird things all the time. But they did not have access to the cell phone video. So when you combine the cell phone video from that same person that took those pictures, then that's why it becomes a story. So to claim, that this on its own is suspicious, I don't think is honest. But you have to combine it with all the information, the entire context, and then it becomes suspicious. Now, let me get to the next clip here. This is after the video from the committee released. This is their new defense now of what happened that day.
It must have been a slow news day for them, because this is all they talked about. The guy taking the picture sure looks kind of like recon. We can't be sure, but Loudermilk has to come, and he has to testify to clear this up. Do you know anything about the guy taking the photo, and is he some nefarious character?
Not that I know of. And what they're not showing is, what was the guy taking a picture of? There is a golden eagle on the wall right upside that stairwell that's holding 2 candles. That's why he's taking a picture of. People take pictures of that all the time. When the guy's near the tunnels going to the Capitol, that's where they hang the artwork that school children give. And at the other end, there is the trolleys, the trains. And the kids wanted to see the trains that take the congressman to the House chambers. That's all this was. And the Capitol Police, they know this.
Okay. Again, on its own, this is a defense that I think would be fine. Would make sense. But to simply ignore that same person was issuing these threats on video the next day is just totally dishonest. So the thing he is talking about there, the Golden Eagle, apparently is this, which I guess is throughout the Capitol. I'm not sure if it's from that actual stairwell, this one. But this is what is apparently within the Capitol complex. I guess somebody may take a photo of this. Again, not super weird. People take photos of stairs, of maybe the marble. They like the marble on the stairs. They took a picture of the marble on the stairs. You can really, at this point, he can try and defend this in any way he wants. But the issue is you combine this stuff with what he said the next day. That is the problem. Now, his story here has changed, as I said, multiple times. So I will link to this below the video under sources on YouTube. From Business Insider, all the times GOP Representative Loudermilk shifted his story about the Capitol tour he led a day before the attack. And also, from Raw Story, Oath Keepers intended to turn on the gas while lawmakers were in tunnels, photographed by the January 6th Capitol tourists. So the same person that was taking photos here, in tunnels, or sorry, the same tunnels that were being photographed were the tunnels that apparently the Oath Keepers wanted to turn on the gas and trap in Congress people. Now, last thing here, there is more to come.
I'm sorry, who was in Trump world establishing a back channel to the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers?
Well, all of that is to come soon. This is actually the hearing that I'm working on is about the relationship between this whole effort and the domestic violent extremist groups and how the mob was actually mobilized and put into action.
So this is the, I guess, final connection that really has to be made here is if this really was planned and there was people on the inside, Republican lawmakers that were a part of this, where was that back channel? Who were those people? Was Loudermilk one of those people? So there's more to come on all of this. Look, it may come out that Loudermilk did nothing wrong, that he really did not know who these people were. He really did not understand what was going to go down. But he still gave a tour to a person who took those photos, who issued those threats the next day. To simply act like that's nothing is just dishonest. If he's honest in his defense here and he really did not know anything, then he would come out and say, well, this person clearly, issued these threats, said these terrible things. I didn't know who this person was. If I had known who he was, I wouldn't have given this tour. I just gave this tour without realizing what this was really about. But multiple times he has said that these photos were for the kids, or, a bunch of families came, and that's who we gave a tour to. If you watch the video again, there is one kid, maybe like 7 or 8, that is on that tour. The rest are all adults. Some have MAGA hats on. People taking pictures of stairwells, hallways, like, come on. You can't play completely stupid. If you really are innocent, then you would be a lot more honest about the realities of who the person was that was there with you, about what they were doing and what they said the next day. But it shows you the total dishonesty of people that were around lawmakers, that were around these insurrectionists, and potentially what they knew or didn't know. But again, more is coming out. We will find out if this ultimately means anything.